Alright, so I'm narrating, and we got two battles here. The first one's against Zoe again, for like the third or fourth time in a row. And it's the little tiny baby Ubers, whatever the hell it's called. We both lead off with Kyogre. Hers is Scarf, mine is Specs. She's not going to be able to kill me, which is, I guess, kind of unfortunate for her, but I can definitely kill her, so that's nice. I like that. And hers goes down, so I'm up 6-5. In comes her Giratina. I'm going to switch in Ferrothorn because that's pretty safe to switch in since we're in the rain. And I can just bring Kyogre back out as death fodder later, so that's pretty nice. Because at 4 HP it's not going to do much. And then she has the Aura Sphere. And that really surprised me. I mean, it makes sense because she has the rain. I get the Oran Barrier recovery. It makes sense because she has the rain, but it surprised me. So I'm just going to set up the Stealth Rock. And she's going to go for the Aura Sphere again, and since I got the Oran Berry, it's not going to kill me, and I'm just going to go for a layer of spikes. And here she's going to kill me, but she goes for the Draco Meteor, I guess predicting something to come in, predicting the Aura Sphere, but I didn't really want to switch anything in. So I just let Ferrothorn die. Alright, so I'm going to bring in Salamence, because I know it outspeeds. I know 100% that it outspeeds Watsky! And I'm just going to hit it with a Draco Meteor because I don't want to lock myself into Outrage, because this is a Dragon Dance Mence with Draco Meteor because it works well with Rayquaza and stuff like that. But she's going to send in her Deoxysay, and of course I have to switch out because I don't want Watsky to die because George Watsky's like fucking awesome. And I'm just going to bring in my Death Fodder. Hey! Death Fodder was useful. So she's Life Orb, and I see that, and I'm happy about it. Because, yeah. And so I'm going to bring in Garchomp because it's a Scarf Chomp, so I know it can outspeed. And she knows this apparently too, so she goes for the Extreme Speed, and I just go for the Outrage. I probably shouldn't have gone for the Outrage, but I just did it. So in comes her Electric Arceus. Yes, Electric. I thought it was normal too. And of course I have to stay in for the Outrage, and it does a lot. I mean, it does not do... This is nothing... I was expecting the damage outputs and all that to be like, you know, the actual Ubers tier, but hey, guess what? It's not. So I'm just going to bring in my Rayquaza and Extreme Speed to get for the Revenge kill, because I don't think I have anything else that outspeeds it. Oh, yeah, I do. I have my Mewtwo, but I don't want to bring that in. So she's going to bring in her Rayquaza, and I don't want to lose my Rayquaza, because it's part of my plan to beat her. So I'm just going to bring in Watsky as Death Fodder, and that's very disappointing, because I didn't want to have to fodder Watsky. And she's going to go and she's going to lock herself into Outrage. I'm like, oh, good, she didn't Swords Dance. Because in Ubers, a Mewtwo would normally be able to live a +1 Swords Dance from Rayquaza, or a +1 Extreme Speed, rather, from Rayquaza, but I wasn't so sure here. So I'm just going to come in, I'm going to get the Ice Beam off on it, and it's going to kill. And she brings in her Darkrai. And I know here, I figured out at this point in the battle that this is going to do enough to Darkrai for Extreme Speed to definitely be a KO, but she misses her Dark Void. So it's unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. I kill her off with Mewtwo instead of Rayquaza. So that was a good game, Zoe. And now I've got a little cup match against the guy who is not standing, because I don't want to use that name, Zycor or whatever. I'm going to send out my Eternal, and he's going to send out that fucking blue thing that gives me hell. I'm going to bring in Lumineon, expecting a water move, but he predicts that and goes for the Toxic, because Storm Drain got a pretty nice boost, but turns out Lumineon's still pretty useless. So I'm just going to U-turn out, because I can't honestly hit it without the boosted hidden power. And I'm going to bring in Thunderdog, because I wasn't paying too awful much attention in the team builder, and I did not notice that he had the Diglett, so that fucked me. So I went for the Volt Switch. I'm like, oh, lovely, I gotta stay in, and I gotta keep Volt Switching. This is gonna feel great. He sets up the Stealth Rock. I'm feeling like an idiot this whole time, because I used 3 electric moves in a row against Diglett, simply because I have no choice. Oddly enough, because I'm using a choice item. So he's going to take out the Thunderdog, and I'm just going to bring in Marky Mark, because Mark Wahlberg used to be called Marky Mark, because I'm old and I know that, and he's just in a movie called The Fighter, and guess what? Tyrogue's a fighter. I'm going to go for the Fake Out. It's not going to work. And I get the Toxic Orb. I don't know why I was using this. This is just digging around. But, oh well. I thought it might be useful with High Jump Kick. I thought. So, oh, and I do predict the Scald this time around, and if he didn't go for the Scald, well, oh well. So here I go for the Hidden Power. Now that it's boosted, it's going to do a decent amount. It did less than I expected, and then it turns out he doesn't even have Eviolite. So, Lumineon is still pretty bad. Because, I mean, I don't even think it hits 20 special attack after Storm Drain. I'm just going to stop using this thing. I don't... Holy... I didn't even get the 2-hit KO. That's frustrating. I distinctly remembered KOing that. Oh, well. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my Ghastly here. And I'm thinking he's going to switch out, so I go for my trick. I think I go for my trick, don't I? Oh. Wow, it got me. I didn't switch in my Ghastly, I switched in Zorua. Wow. I tricked myself pretty well there. Alright, so Trolled is going to go down, and I trolled myself with that. And in comes Allstate. And I find that very amusing. So I send my pony back in, and my pony is going to be threatening to this thing, but apparently not threatening enough because he stays in anyway. Maybe because he doesn't want anything taken to Flare Blitz. But oh, okay, Focus Sash. I was like, how the hell did he live that? Alright, so he's going to go for the Quick Attack again to get some damage, and of course I didn't go for the Morning Sun because I'm retarded, but I don't think it didn't matter. Or I don't think it mattered too awful much anyway. So my pony's going to go down, and that's disappointing because I like my pony. So now I'm going to bring in the real Ghastly, and he's going to bring in that thing, and I'm going to trick that thing to Scarf, predicting the Sucker Punch because that thing's relatively threatening if I just straight attack. And I don't think he was expecting that, so that's good. But now my Ghastly has a Life Orb, and I can see how it could be potentially useful. I switch in Marky Mark just to see what he's going to lock himself into, and he locks himself into Ice Punch. Okay, it doesn't kill Marky Mark, so that's good. I think I'll go for the Fake Out here just to get some damage on it, stop it where it is. But I forgot that this thing was... Oh, no, I remember this thing was alive. I went for Bullet Punch. Okay. Wow. That's lovely. So he's going to go for the Shadow Ball. It's just going to take out Marky Mark, which doesn't really matter because I don't think he was doing much anyway. I bring back in my newly Life-Orbed Ghastly, and he's going to switch out so he doesn't die, and he's going to bring that thing in, and I hit it with the Shadow Ball, and it does a crap load of damage and then gets the special defense drop, but I mean, as low as it is, it doesn't really matter. So he's going to switch out, and he's going to go into his Magnemite, and I predict that, and I go for the trick to get his Choice Scarf so I can... Okay, that was a bad prediction. I'm looking back at that, and that's a terrible prediction. Alright, whatever. So I know I'm going to lose here. There's no way I'm going to win. It just brings that thing back in, because I've got the hidden I have the hidden power Fire. Okay, I thought it was fighting. And he's going to Shadow Ball, and it's going to take out my Ghastly. And I think that's it for the battle. Alright, so it's good game, Zycor, good game, Zoe. Do whatever the hell you want, I don't care. I'll leave their links in the description.